"Hey, DS," Mustache called. The young Puerto Rican waved me over. "JJ wants you, man." I gathered my wits and walked over to see JJ looking down another rough-hewn, unlit tunnel. "I can't understand this," JJ said. "Where in the hell did all these tunnels come from? They ain't on the plans. I sent Townie, Orc, Ralph, and Norton up a few of them. And they said the tunnels go into the subway system and utility trunks. They came back quick, too. These tunnels aren't properly shored and braced, but from all the rock lying about here, it looks like they've been here a while. It's like a warren. This don't make no damn sense." JJ. "Yeah? Something's going on down here. Who do you trust on our team?" "What's up, man?" "I can't explain it just now. You'd think I was a crackhead. Just believe me that we're in for trouble." JJ stared at me. "We talking about fight trouble?" "Yeah, maybe. Ain't no fighters in our group but Gook. He was Vietnamese Special Forces. I mean, we kid Asia. She's strong, but she wouldn't hurt a fly. Ralphie and Norton served in Gulf War, where they were support troops. Phil, he used to run a bit with a mob when he was young, but that's a long time ago. I don't know the others that well." "Ganjamin?" "He useless." "Great. Tell Gook, Asia, and the others to keep an eye out. Have Sal and Gook get our people together." JJ nodded. "Sal, Gook," he shouted. "Get everybody over here." People grumbled and fussed as the supervisors gathered them up. Everyone looked at me, wondering what additional work was going to get dumped on them. They are going to think that I'm out of my mind, I thought. "Okay," I said aloud. "Listen up. Something funny is going on. We're finding a lot of tunnels that aren't on the plan. You all know we were sent down to check on an unknown chamber or river. Well, now I want everybody to stick together. I found blood on the mole's seat. There may be a man down somewhere around here, so the dive is going to break into sections and look around." Phil opened his mouth. "Shut up, Phil," I said. With many confused or unfriendly stares, people lined up behind JJ, Gook, and Sal and moved out. I stuck with JJ's section. A 30-minute search of the immediate area discovered nothing. We moved out into the other tunnels, marking our passage every now and then with a can of spray paint. I was about to give up and head back to the mole chamber when a scream sounded behind us. We all whirled and ran back to discover a side passage we'd overlooked that held a roughly hewn spiraling stone staircase about 8 feet wide. Another scream, and we ran down the staircase, torchlights waving wildly. More screams sounded. I raced down the wide stone steps and around a bend at the bottom of the stairwell and ran into Asia. The big girl plowed into me, almost knocking me down. "They're dead! They're dead!" she shrieked. I grabbed her and held onto her as she tried to shove me aside. "Who's dead?" I demanded, barely able to hold her. JJ grabbed her other arm. "Settle down, girl. Who dead?" Asia collapsed against me, shuddering. She pointed. I passed Asia to Ganjamin. "Come on, guys." "The hell you say?" Phil spat. "This ain't part of my job. Let's get topside and call the cops." I ignored him and charged forward with Gook and JJ. The others hung back. The tunnel that shouldn't be led for 100 yards to a large room that wasn't on the plans. The immense space was lit by work lights, but full of harsh shadows. "Holy shit," JJ said. Gook snarled something in Vietnamese. A rotting meat smell, so awful my nose just shut down, hung in the air. What had looked at first like bundles of rags on the floor were the remains of people. We'd found the sandhogs as well as the cops and their police dogs. "They've been tore up," JJ said. "Worse," I said. "They've been eaten," Gook said. "I seen like this in my village. Tiger got woman, not much left." And that's what did the eating. I pointed. Toward the center of the room lay 3 sprawled, unmoving forms like those I'd seen in Falkaya. But unlike the destroyed human bodies, these were intact. I walked over, my legs shaking. JJ and Gook just stared, frozen in disbelief, at 2 ape-like dead demons with greenish skin, their red eyes staring sightlessly at nothing, and a pale alligator-headed humanoid. All the stories of albino gators in the sewers of NYC flooded into my memories, and I found myself wondering how long the Shadalka and their pals had been down here. I forced the memories back and took a hard look at the bodies. They'd been shot full of holes. One looked like a police dog had gotten hold of its leg. I clenched my fists and turned to look back at JJ and Gook. Get everyone in here. I have something to say, and no one will believe it unless they're looking at these. It took work to get everyone in the chamber, especially Asia. Phil threatened a Section 75 grievance until JJ offered to shove his boot up his rear. They stood in a huddled mass, facing me, and careful not to touch the fragments of people scattered over the floor. I waited till they settled down some, then explained it all. The Shada, the demons, Falkaya, and finally, Johnny. If I hadn't been almost standing on a dead demon, they would have tied me up for a trip to Bellevue. "Oh my God," Asia kept repeating. Norton gave her a little bit of a shake to quiet her down. "Can this be real?" Ganjamin asked in the silence. "And what the hell are we supposed to do about it?" Phil snapped. "How am I supposed to know?" I snapped. "Got any suggestions?" Jay walked over to the dead demons and pointed at them. "They don't give a crap about each other." "What?" Phil asked. "Look, dumb shit," JJ said. "The bad guys won here. They left their own behind. Hell, they didn't even lay out the bodies. They're lying where they fell. They don't give a crap about each other. So just imagine what they'll do to prisoners," I said. "Ain't no dealing with those that don't care for their own." JJ shook his head. "Yeah," I said. "First thing," Gook said, "get gun, get ammo." He started searching the disemboweled body of the cop at his feet. Even JJ turned green. "Come on, people," he finally managed. "Look around." Nobody moved. I took a deep breath and forced myself to act. "You want to face these things with bare hands and tools?" I reached down gingerly, moving a limb. "Start looking." The others started searching after that, but we left the 4 cops to Gook. He must have seen as bad, or worse, in Nam. He efficiently checked the bodies, muttering something in a sing-song the entire time, and after several minutes, I realized he was praying. Not a bad idea. "Kevin," Asia said. I glanced over at her. "Look at the walls." I played my torch over the walls, noting the spidery lines of symbols all around the chamber, pentagrams and other strange drawings I didn't recognize. At the far end of the slaughter chamber, my light glinted off something metal. Moving cautiously, I made my way across the cavern until I could see a huge bronze door standing partly open. It was easily 8 feet tall and 4 across. Demon scale. I started to shine my light down the passage, but the same unhealthy green glow I had seen in Falkaya flickered in the distance, and I stopped. Other than the glow, the passage seemed empty. I saw another set of doors, also slightly ajar, at the bottom of the sloping passage.